Hello and welcome to this embodiment yoga practice. My name is Marisa and it is a real honor to be here with you today, sharing a very gentle yoga practice that I use to ground myself, bring myself back into my body when things become unclear or the path is uncertain or emotions are all over the place. My yoga mat is a place that I love to come to reconnect. To reconnect with my body, to reconnect with my breath, and just have a moment to take stock of all of the emotions that are inside. So I really invite you to take your time. I'm going to offer suggestions. If anything doesn't feel completely right for your body, then please feel free to modify. I have 2 yoga blocks that I have, as well as an eye pillow. If you don't have the yoga blocks, you could always just use a couple of big textbooks. And if you don't have an eye pillow, this one actually has some lavender in it, which is really helps with relaxation. But if you don't have that, even just a little hand towel will be enough, or a scarf, just something to block the light out when we come to our final integration and meditation at the end. So we're going to begin with lighting a candle. So I like to light a candle before my practice, and this is an opportunity to really set intention. So you may be doing this at the beginning of the day. It's like a prayer. So if you have a little candle to hand, great. If you don't, then this candle that I'm lighting here will be representing your intention setting. So just take a moment and close the eyes, tune into what is it that your body needs today, your spirit. What answers are you seeking? Or perhaps it's somebody that you wish to dedicate this practice to. So just take a moment and think about that, and then I'm just going to set my candle off here behind me. So we'll begin in a seated posture. So I have, I'm not sitting on anything, but you may wish to put a rolled up blanket or towel or a bolster underneath you. And if your knees are lifting from the ground and there's strain along the inner thighs, then you can bring some blocks and just place them underneath the knees. So you want to be really comfortable and supported so that you're not having to take the mind to holding any parts of your body. So just getting nice and comfy in your chosen position. And then your choice of either placing the palms, connecting with the thighs, or opening up to the sky. So if you're needing more grounding today, then bringing the palms onto the thighs. And if you're already feeling nice and centered and just ready to connect in and up, then place the palms facing the sky. Go ahead and rest the eyelids closed. Feel the spine lengthening and dropping into this moment of stillness. You're just scanning the body for any areas of holding, tightness, tension. And just setting that down. Feeling the weight drop down into the sit bones. Feeling a sense of resting back into the back of the head, the shoulder blades. And just notice where your breath is. So we're not trying to change the breath in any way. We're just simply noticing how it moves. For most of us, there's often places where the breath gets caught, so little snags and holding and little roadblocks along the way. So just notice where those are in your body in this moment. Allow the eyelids to smooth out and the eyeballs to drop heavy into the back of the skull. The earlobes soften and the lips become plump. The jaw relax, the tongue spacious and wide. Release the holding in the shoulders. And go ahead and drop the mind now and the breath down into the belly. So down into the pelvic bowl, the womb space. Let go of any holding in the belly. Just let it fill out. We don't need to present ourselves in any particular way to the world. This is our time with our eyes closed. Just watch a few rounds of breath in the belly and the womb space. And watch with the curiosity that you've just discovered a rare bird, a rare species, and you just want to notice and observe how it's moving, remaining so still so as not to disturb the bird. Keep dropping inside. With the next inhale, let the mind travel higher up into the side ribs. And with your inhale, feel the lungs pressing the ribs out to the sides and in front and behind. Releasing, letting the old clear out and away. With every inhale, just dropping the word thank you. With every exhale, I release you. So breathing in, grateful for that constant supply of new source, community, abundance, inspiration. I release you, letting go what no longer serves, thoughts, beliefs. Breathing in, thank you. Breathing out, I release you. And then taking your awareness on the next inhale up into the upper chest now, that whole circumference underneath the collarbones, in front of the shoulder blades. Become aware of the sense of buoyancy here in the upper chest. Just watching a few breaths. From here, we're going to do a 4-part breathing exercise where we'll breathe into the count of 4 and hold the breath to the count of 4, release the breath to the count of 4, and then remaining empty for the count of 4. So just do what feels comfortable for your body. If you need to drop the count at all to 3 or 2, then feel free to do that. So beginning on the inhale, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing at the top, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release the breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Remaining empty, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in fully and completely, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Release for 4, 3, 2, 1. Remaining empty. Invite empty for a moment. And then returning to your natural breath and just noticing this sense of vertical alignment, how you are here in the now, in your body, present, aware to whatever is arising, whatever hurts, whatever feels open and expansive. And then very gently now bringing the palms together in front of the heart in prayer position, drop your chin into your chest. And we're going to set an intention for our practice. So bringing that intention that we lit the candle and just allowing that to land in all the cells in our body. Gently return the hands to the thighs and inhale, take the chin up towards the sky. Breathing in. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest, lengthen the back of the neck, lengthen the waist. Breathe in, chin to sky. Breathe out, chin to chest. And just notice here as you move, where are you holding on to tension? Keep dropping inside. Getting out of the head and into the body. One more time, breathing in, chin to sky. Breathing out, chin to chest. Keep the chin in and then roll the right ear over the right shoulder. So just stacking left ear over right. And then exhale, roll the chin through center, left ear, stacking over left shoulder. Gently reaching up through the chin. And just in your own time now, moving from side to side. And it may feel good to take full rotations with the head. Just tuning into your body and what feels good and what helps you release. The next time you come back to neutral with the chin, we'll bring the head back upright. And then some shoulder circles here, so squeezing the shoulders up towards the ears and then rolling them back and down. So just 2 more times in this direction. And then we'll change directions, rolling forwards, back. Just continuing to let the breath move through the body. And then taking your right hand down onto the floor, softly bend into that elbow, extend through the left fingers and reach up and over, keeping the side waist nice and long, maybe looking up towards that left elbow. Breathing in fully all the way from the waist up, the armpit, elbows, fingers, and then exhale, switching sides. Left hand comes down, soften into the elbow, extend through the right fingers and reaching up. Take the gaze to the inside of the elbow. On the exhale, switching sides and just moving as you wish here. Taking an extra breath if that feels good and holding the stretch. Just feeling into where have you been holding tightness in the ribs and the shoulders and the neck, and how can you bring the breath in now to just nurture it and nourish it and use gravity as your friend, so really dropping down through the sit bones, through that bottom carriage, that foundation. And then slowly coming back to center. We're going to take the legs away from you slightly if you have been sitting cross-legged, and just bringing the soles of the feet together. And we're going to come into a little butterfly opener here. So if you have taken the blocks underneath the thighs, then just remove those now, and leading with the heart, grounding down through the sit bones, just holding onto your feet. We're going to slowly fold over the legs. So again here, just moving to a degree of fold that feels comfortable. And then when you come down here, just softening the elbows into the legs or the ground. And eventually just really giving the weight of the head all the way down.
Dropping the chin into the chest and feeling the weight of the head dropping to the ground. Feel the front of the pelvis nice and wide and spacious, and the back of the pelvis opening. Just an invitation here to breathe and open the back of the heart. Continuing to let the breath roll through the body, and with each exhale just folding a little bit deeper. Letting that exhale be longer than the inhale. One more breath in, and on the exhale, slowly sliding the torso back upright. We're going to draw the thighs together and make our way down to the floor. We're going to do this slowly with the support of gravity. So just taking the feet on the ground, holding onto the fronts of the knees. Drop your chin in towards your chest. And then just allow yourself to roll down towards the mat and bringing the thighs in with you, making sure you've got space on the mat. And then just bring your thighs into your chest, and we'll just get curious as we play around here, rolling from side to side. Curious about where we're holding tightness in our back body. So the muscles either side of the spine. Does one side feel slightly tighter or perhaps a little bit more raised than the other? And just tick-tocking the hips, the knees from side to side. Just encouraging that to soften, and then starting to make circles with the knees. So we're massaging the sacrum, going in one direction and exploring, and then rolling in the other direction and exploring, and all the while just really tuning into gravity. And gravity is constantly pulling us back down to the earth, connecting us in with the ground. So really let the weight of the head drop, let the shoulder blades drop down, the lower back grounding, and then taking the knees in towards you now, and then circling them out to the sides and away from the face, and then back in. So just big wide circles, and every circle the breath follows and moves, and in every circle we give the weight of the body further to the ground. Those circles and make them wide. Really explore all of the angles, the full range of mobility in that hip socket. And then this last time now, bringing the knees back into the center. Take the arms out into cactus arms, so extending from the elbow away from the shoulder, the palms reach up, so we're making a 90-degree angle with the arm, and the legs just continue to drop into the belly, so they're not doing much, they're just folding in. Ground through the back of the head, the back of the heart, the lower back, and then slowly float the feet up towards the sky. So you're stacking your ankles over your knees, over your hips, and just let the weight of the legs go. So there's no effort required to keep them up here again. We're just tapping into gravity, and gravity is just plugging those thigh bones into the hip sockets. And from here, with soft backs of the knees, soft legs, we start to point and flex through the toes. And as we're moving the feet here, really spread the toes wide and squeeze them in. And then start to circle the ankles, so either in the same direction or opposite directions, whatever comes naturally. Maybe there's some cracking and popping. Just giving our feet some loving appreciation for all the steps that they take us each day. Just feeling into your back body, maybe let your head roll from side to side, just freeing up the neck and seeing if you can surrender even further to the ground. And then pausing in stillness, starting to move into the hips now, so bringing both of the toes to, the big toes to point towards each other, and then flipping it and taking the toes out and the heels together, so it's a bit like a ballet pose here, first position. We're just exploring how that thigh bone hinges, moves, rotates. It's a bit like screwing a door handle, turning a door handle. And just keep breathing into your back body. Feel how the spine is becoming spacious and opening up as we reintegrate these legs back into the spine. And then pausing here, pressing through the heels, separate the feet really wide, coming into a wide straddle with the legs. Keep giving back through the arms. Drop through the elbows, wrists, backs of the hands. Lower back, back of the belly, back of the heart. Breathing in. Releasing out. Body open and opening all along the front of the spine. Just imagining it's like rivers and the rain is suddenly flowing through a dried riverbed, and the rain brings the water through, and that's the energy that you're starting to move through your body here. And then bend the knees, bring the knees into the armpits, and take your hands and just gently rest them on the knees and guide the knees closer towards the armpits. The feet just remain nice and floppy and relaxed. And then from here we're going to transition into a happy baby, but do this slowly and gently, so we keep that groundedness through the tailbone and the back of the head, and just slide the hands maybe under the ankles, or they're over the ankles, or underneath the soles of the feet, the little pinky edge of the foot. Resting here in this stillness, having a sense of integrating the thigh bones back into the hips, back into the spine. And at the same time, from the spine, there's an equal energy moving outwards, spiraling out through the thighs, through the knees, through the ankles, through the soles of the feet. So there's an in and out energy. We're breathing, we're softening, we're surrendering. Now we're going to get a little bit playful here in our happy baby and drop the left heel towards the sit bone and roll to the right as you extend through the right arm. So just lengthening that right arm and right leg away, and then draw that right heel in towards the sit bone, roll to the left and extend out through the right hand, the left hand and left heel. And just with each inhale, slowly rocking from side to side and massaging the outer edges of the thighs, the glutes, the ribs. Just exploring how wide we could open and extend each leg. Keeping a gentle hold on the hands, so we don't want to introduce any tight gripping. What we're doing here is trying to unravel all the tension from our body, and we're using movement and breath to help guide it out. Just gently shooing it out. And then slowly winding that movement back down and coming back to center, bringing the knees together, hugging the thighs in towards the belly, and maybe you can interlace the forearms around the knees, really making sure the back of the neck is nice and long. Ground through the lower back, engage through your core, take a breath in, reach through the crown of the head, and then exhale, peel the back of the head up off the ground. So we're drawing our forehead in towards our knees, and the hands just resting on the shins, long through the back of the neck. Maybe the hands can interlace underneath the soles of the feet again, and send the elbows out wide to draw the forehead closer to the knees. And breathe. Notice what hurts, notice what's tight. Just be fully in your body. Exhale, gently release the back of the head back down to the floor, ground through the feet. We're going to interlace the fingers now and place them behind the back of the skull. Take the elbows nice and wide, really feeling all four corners of your feet grounding, and then inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, engage through the core as you peel the head up off the ground. Keep the elbows nice and wide and spacious between the chin and the chest. And just hold here and breathe. And then we're going to start to circle and stir up the upper chest. So we exhale as we peel up, and we inhale as we open wide. Keep the elbows nice and wide. Really standing on the feet here, grounding through the lower back. And then changing directions, moving the opposite way. Stirring it up. Let the breath move, maybe sigh it out. Keep the elbows wide. And have a sense of walking the shoulders away from the hips. And slowing it down, coming back to center. Resetting, really keeping the elbows nice and wide, space between the chin and the chest. And then one leg at a time, stack the knees above the hips, the shins parallel to the ground, and flex through the heels. And we're going to start to pedal through the legs now, just bicycling the legs. Keep the elbows wide. And as we're moving here, feel the energy moving through the body. Feel the pathways opening up. Feel the strength building, the warmth. Maybe you point through the toes, and again just choose which angle feels good for your legs. So you don't need to come all the way down low. Your cycling may be higher up, and that feels good for your body today. Just listening to the body. And then we're going to add on here and cross opposite elbow to opposite knee. So getting a little bit more into the side wrist. Continue to let the breath move. Building warmth, building strength. Noticing what emotions may be coming up for you. Just observing without judgment. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And then slowly ground through the back of the head, ground through the feet. Take your hands into a diamond or a triangle where the thumb connects, the pointy finger connects. And just drop that shape over the belly button. Ground through the elbows. Send some breaths into the womb space. Feel the energy that you have created, and allow the breath to move it through the body. Gently take the arms into airplane wings, extending the hands away from the shoulders, palms ground down. Take the feet wider than the hips and let your knees drop to the right. So it's as if your feet are glued to the floor. Let your head roll to the left. Inhale, knees through center. Drop the knees to the left. Feet stay glued. Gaze to the right. Next time, inhale, bring the knees through center. On this exhale, with the knees to the right, you can pause for a couple of breaths. Breathe into the left ribs, armpits, elbows. And then slowly move the knees back through center. Exhale, knees to the left. A few breaths here. Breathing into the right ribs. And slowly coming back to center with the knees. Draw the thighs in towards the chest. Hug the forehead into the knees. Peel the back of the head up off the ground. Slip the hands in between the thighs and the calves. And we're going to start to rock and roll from the sit bones to the shoulders. So just 4 or 5 rocks here. If this movement isn't coming, don't worry, we can always just roll over onto the side. We're all going to make our way into a tabletop. So just swinging the legs around. Bringing the hands underneath the elbows. The knees underneath the hips. And just making sure everything feels nice and open and spacious through the wrists, the elbows. We'll exhale, drop the crown of the head to the ground, bring the forehead towards the pubic bone. And inhale, sink the belly, open through the heart and the throat. Exhale, cat. Rounding the spine, press the ground away, the hands and the tops of the feet and the shins. Keep your eyes closed and drop inside. Start to stir the hips in one direction, so just making nice circles with those hips and just let that movement ripple its way through the body, through the spine, into the shoulders, into the neck, into the head. Just let your body intuitively guide the movement, making it as big or as small as you need it. Paying attention to the weight transference from the knees to the hands, to the shins, to the feet. Slow that circling down and then start to stir the hips in the other direction. Letting it ripple its way through the spine, into the shoulders, the throat, the mouth. Just notice how the tongue is resting in the mouth. Does it feel clenched and tight, or can you soften the tongue and just bring some spaciousness? Down now, coming back into your tabletop, we're going to curl the toes under and slowly walk the hands away from the body so that hips are stacking above the knees, and you're just walking the hands away and either resting the forehead on the floor, or if the flexibility is there, bringing the chin to the floor. So we're resting here in puppy pose, a big opening in the armpits and the spine. Broadening the collarbones, spreading the shoulder blades wide. Breathing into the back of the heart, breathing into the front of the heart. slowly exhaling, walking the hands back underneath the shoulders. We'll curl the toes under. And we're going to just tick-tock from forwards to backwards. So just taking the hips behind the knees and in front of the knees, and the shoulders in front of the wrists and behind the wrists. And the next time we tick backwards, engage through the core and shift the weight from the knees into your hands and your toes, and slowly transition up into a bent knee, downward facing dog. Sending the hips high, we'll start to pedal through the heels. So just walking the dog, letting your hips move from side to side, letting the head move yes and no. Letting the breath roll through. And then coming back into a still full expression of downward facing dog, straightening through the backs of the knees, opening the backs of the knees. Opening through the armpits, opening through the elbows. Breathe in, lower the knees back down, tabletop. Uncurl the tops, bring the tops of the feet to the floor. Exhale, press the hips back to the heels, child's pose. Inhale, rise forwards, tabletop. Curl the toes under, open up and back, down and facing dog on the exhale. So just move through this little flow. Inhale, lower the knees, tabletop. Exhale, open the tops of the feet to the ground. Press back, child's pose. Inhale, rise, tabletop. Exhale, curl the toes under, down and facing dog. Breathing in. So if it feels good to pause at any point in this flow, then feel free to do that. Just listening to the body and building up the energy, yawning the body awake and open. It's a couple more. And the next time we'll meet in downward facing dog. Ground evenly through both hands, both feet, and then shift the weight into the left leg. Extend the right leg up and back behind you, three-legged dog. Just squaring the weight through the hands. Bend through that right knee and open it up. So stacking the right hip over the left hip, reaching up through that right knee, looking underneath the right armpit. And breathing as you ground through the hands, as you open through the spine. Breathe into the hips. Reach up through the knee. And then on the inhale, resetting, coming back into that three-legged dog. And then we'll exhale, bring the knee through, round and curl. Bring the forehead to the knee and extend it up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale for 2, bring the forehead to the knee, round and curl. Breathe in, take the leg back. And this next time we'll step the foot through between the hands. So use the hand to help, or just squeeze it through. And then we'll lower that left knee down to the ground and open the top of the foot. Now if this feels uncomfortable on your left knee, you can go ahead and double up your mat and give it some extra support. If you'd like to use your blocks underneath your hands for a little bit more space here, you can go ahead and find that space, and we're going to tick-tock the hips forwards and backwards. So again, here it might feel nice to close the eyes and just breathe into the hips and notice, where are you holding tightness? What is the emotion here? As women, so often we internalize our emotions and we store them. Hips are a great place where we keep that held. So if you have something that's consciously up for you now, or you just approach this pose with a curiosity to see what's here, so be open to what presents itself. Find some circling movements, so you're rolling on the little toe edge of the foot and the big toe edge of the foot. Change the directions of the circles. Through that front foot. We're going to bring the hands onto the thighs now, engaging through the core, really reaching out through the side waist, and then from here add on, take the arms above, really extend through the fingertips and see if you can breathe really from the base of the tailbone, the pubic bone, all the way up and through the pelvic bowl, the belly, the ribs, the upper chest, and then maybe the gaze comes up. Sink the hips forwards as we draw the shoulder blades together. And then slowly lower the hands down onto the ground or the blocks. Curl the left toes under. I'm going to straighten both of our legs as we bow forwards and surrender the forehead to the front shin. You can go ahead and ground that left heel if you wish. Just keep the heel popping up. So the sensation is strong in the hips maybe, or the hamstrings. See if you can bring the awareness into the spine, and how can you ground through your feet and bring spaciousness between the vertebrae and the spine. Take that opening into the back of the heart, the back of the throat. One more breath in. And then exhale, come forwards, bend that right knee. So we're in a lunge now, full lunge. We're going to come into a lunge twist. So with your left hand either on that block or on the ground, twist the torso to the right, extend the right arm up towards the sky. Press back through the left heel. And breathe in, extend through the crown of the head, close the eyes. Feel the rotation in the spine. Open up heart space. Take the weight out of the left hand so there's more being asked of the legs. Exhale, release that right hand down to the floor. Ground through both hands, step the right leg back, downward facing dog. Gently pedal it out. And take the weight now into the right leg, extend the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, stack left hip over right hip, looking past the left armpit, opening through the ribs, reach up through the left knee, gently resetting the strength into the legs. Full breath in, belly, ribs, upper chest. Full breath out. One more breath in. And exhale, return the hands to the floor, remove your blocks. Step the left leg back, downward facing dog, pedal through the heels. And we'll just slowly from here roll forwards, come into a plank. And just hold this plank here. If you need to lower the knees at any point, you can. But if you can hold it just for a few seconds, engage through the core, press back through the heels, extend through the crown of the head. Feel yourself broadening in all directions, wide and full. And then slowly scoop it back, downward facing dog. Walk the feet forwards, coming into a forward fold on your mat. And gently release. Soften the knees, so really make sure that the knees are soft so that the belly can touch the thighs. And then hold opposite elbows. Let the weight of the head drop. Maybe you shift the weight from side to side. Really use the breath, the exhale to release here. Let your head shake yes and no. With the feet grounded, we'll release the elbows, interlace the fingers behind the lower back. And if they can't reach, then just use a towel, grab hold of the towel. And from here, we'll continue to drop through the crown of the head and extend the hands, the interlaced hands, towards the back of the head. And just let your belly rest on the thighs. Shake the head, yes, no. Really ground through all four corners of the feet. And allow yourself to have a sense of sitting into a chair through the seat. Release your hands, and we're going to slowly slide the arms up and through and come into a chair. We're extending through the hands. You can always bring the hands into prayer position if you wish. But challenge yourself if you can to keep the arms extended and choose the degree with which you fold. Focus the gaze in front of you on a point. The drishti, that thing which you wish to really bring in. And this effort that you're moving through here is a reflection of what you're prepared to burn through. Feel the activation in the thighs. Feel yourself dropping into all four corners of the feet. Feel the core engaged. Feel the opening between the shoulder blades, the length in the waist. And just be here in this present moment, so we're not thinking about when we're going to come out of this, how long we've been here. We're just here breathing, firing it all up. And then slowly on the inhale, send the hips forward, straighten through the legs. Breathe in, gentle back bend. Slowly drop the hands down to the heart space. We'll release the hands down to the side in mountain pose. And then breathe in, take the arms up overhead. So it's just like you're clearing and cleansing the aura. And then exhale, drop it down into the heart, prayer position. So just a couple more like this. You can't see me, but just feel into it. Close the eyes. Use your fingertips like sacred broomsticks, just sweeping the aura, sweeping the energy clear. Drawing that light in from above, that intuition, that wisdom, dropping it down into the heart. One more time. Next time we'll inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. So soften the knees, glide down, come into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, bring the hands underneath the knees. Lengthen the spine, extend the heart away from the hips. And then exhale, fold back in. Ground the hands down onto the floor and slowly walk the feet back out into a downward facing dog. And just breathe here as you hold dog, as you feel the body opening from the wrists, from the elbows, from the shoulders. And very gently on an inhale, lower the knees down. Send the hips back towards the hips. And we're just going to come into a kneeling pose here and do some heart opening exercises. So we'll just begin with a few breaths. Inhaling, taking the hands up nice and wide. Exhale, drop it down into the heart. So I feel quite comfortable kneeling here in this position, but if you need to support your body with perhaps placing a blanket underneath the sit bones, underneath the thighs and the calves, you can do that. I'm going to be here for a few minutes. So we're going to come into this heart opening practice now. Where we take the arms out to the sides. Just extend the palms to the sky. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the
belly engaged.
But there's something about you, something
And just breathe, soften the tongue.
want to let it go. No, I don't want to let it go. But it's one palm in the sun.
And then drop the elbows in towards the chest, bring the palms together in front of you. I'm just going to start this movement now where we take the hands out to the side, the elbows stay in. And as you're drawing the arms back, you're really drawing the shoulder blades together. And if you're trying to touch and connect the elbows in towards each other. So just close your eyes. Listen to the song. And just drop inside. Stay with the breath. Listen to the lyrics. Keep breathing. Just letting whatever emotion wants to come up, let it rise. Let this movement, this energetic exchange in the body, bring it up and out. And if tears want to come, tears are so healing. So just let the emotion flow. And if there's nothing, then just sit with that nothing. No judgment. This is not a performance, this is an experience. Maybe making it faster. Really draw those shoulder blades together, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Feel into the heart. Breathe into the heart. Breathe. Sigh it out. Make whatever sound you need to make. Release. It's no longer serving you. Set it down. Let it go. I release you. Thank you. I release you. Thank you. I release you. Almost there. Slowing it down. And gently bring the hands onto the thighs, just grounding yourself. And we're just going to come into a little fold here over the legs. And just taking your forehead down to the ground. Bowing forwards. And with our hands, we're just going to spin the wrists so that the palms face up. Lots of space between the heart space, the shoulder blades, the collarbones. Breathe and let go. Just breathe and release. Breathe and let go. Breathe and release. Slowly on the next inhale, we'll slide the hands back in towards us and roll over onto the side. So we're coming back into that cross-legged position that we began with. I'll take the hands onto the knees and we're going to come into a seated twist here. So before we move anywhere, just really feel yourself grounding through the tailbone, through the sit bones. Reach up through the heart, reach up through the crown of the head. And then we're going to take the left hand onto the right knee. the right hand behind us, just in the middle on the floor. And with every breath in, reach up and extend through the crown of the head, and with every breath out, continue to twist the torso round to the right. We're just using the hands to support and encourage this twist and opening. Really feel yourself dropping into the edges of the feet, dropping into your seat, dropping into the support of the hands. It's as if the spine is a winding staircase and we're just slowly rotating round. Each vertebra one on top of the other, gently stacking. Exploring the full range of movement in the head. Breathe in, and on the exhale, release, and just let the momentum take you to the other side. So the right hand this time on the left knee, left hand behind you on the ground. Breathe in, feel that extension through the crown of the head, drop through the seat, the feet. Exhale, twist deeper. Creating that winding staircase in your spine. The organs here are also receiving a twisting and a wringing out. So really let the breath release what you no longer need. And the inhale, bring in the source. Bring in the inspiration. Exhale, slowly releasing. Coming back to center, and from here we're going to make our way down onto the floor. So making sure you have enough space behind you on the mat. We're going to bring the feet onto the ground. And taking your hands just in front of the knees. Separate the feet nice and wide. We're going to do a little seated cat-cow before we make our way fully to the ground. So we'll inhale, take the knees nice and wide, extend the heart through the space, open the gaze, the throat. Exhale, draw the knees together, round through the spine, drop the chin into the chest, and just lean back. Use the hands to support. Inhale, send the heart through between the open knees. Exhale, roll back. Just slowing it all down. There's no rush. We don't have to be anywhere or do anything. We're just using breath and movement to release and to ground and to be here. And the next time we come into an exhale, we're going to allow the movement to take us down to the ground. So drawing the thighs together, drop the chin into the chest, slow the movement down and roll back onto your mat. From here, we'll just pause for a moment with the feet wide. Let the knees just gently come in and touch each other, and bring the hands back into that triangle, that diamond, and place that shape over the belly button. So just holding the womb space. Really loving and honoring this creative space. Honoring our cyclical nature. Just like the moon. We operate with cycles and seasons. And as we take the time to slow things down and open to the wisdom that our body has deep inside, through this slowing down and this honoring, we have an opportunity to open up the channels of communication with ourselves, that we can hear our intuition and
As we close our eyes through our brow chakra, our third eye, we can see the intuition. We open up our sensitivity and we can feel our intuition. So slowly now bringing the feet parallel, we're going to bring the arms down beside us and we're going to rise up onto the tips of the toes. And from here we're going to send the hips up high in a bridge position. So opening up the front of the pelvis, opening up the back of the pelvis. If this feels uncomfortable for you with the heels lifted, then you can always just drop the heels down. I'm going to take the arms back into those cactus arms. So bending the arms at a 90-degree angle, keeping the heels lifted. And we're going to start to stir the hips up. So taking the hips over to the right, dropping them down, shifting them up to the left and up. We're just stirring this cauldron, stirring this pelvic bowl, stirring this powerful pot. Letting the breath move and roll and ripple. And then change the direction of those circles, stirring in the opposite way. And slowing that down now. Bringing the hips back to center, grounding through the heels, and one long exhale floats the spine back down to the ground. From here, we'll cross the right ankle over the left thigh, coming into a figure 4. Peel the left heel up off the ground, and if you're able to engage through the core, through the thigh muscles, to just gently draw that left thigh in towards the belly. So we're not using our hands if we can, just experiencing, you may be familiar with this stretch, but we just want to feel it in a different way here. Really balancing the pelvis, flexing through the feet if there's any sensitivity in the knees, and just with the energy of that right thigh, pressing the knee away, feeling the opening in the spine, the outsides of the thighs, the glutes, breathing in. Slowly on the exhale, returning that left foot to the ground, we'll cross the right leg all the way over the left thigh now. And then lifting the hips up and shift them over to the right. Set them back down and let the knees drop to the left. So maybe the left foot is touching and then the right foot touches, and then you just roll the gaze around to the right. Just breathing into the heart space, the right ribs. On an inhale, gently bring the knees, the head back to center. Lift the hips up and reset them in the center. Uncross your right leg and cross the left ankle, this time over the right thigh. Figure 4. Peel the right heel up off the ground. Feel yourself grounded through the lower back, and then with the core muscles, the thigh muscles, draw that right thigh in towards the face. Flex through the feet. Press the left heel away. The left knee. And just breathe into this opening. Breathe into any tightness, any gripping. Send the breath and awareness to where it's needed. Breathe and release. Breathe and let go. On the exhale, return the right foot to the ground, cross your left thigh all the way over the right. Lift the hips up and shift them to the left slightly, and then just let the Knees drop to the right, letting the feet ground. And let the gaze roll to the left. Slowly inhale, returning to center, resetting the hips and cross the left leg. We're just going to draw both thighs back in towards the chest and maybe circle the knees a little in each direction. And from this point, if your body feels ready to open into your final Shavasana, corpse pose, and you can go ahead and lengthen the heels away from the body. But if your body's not yet ready, then you can always take a couple more stretches here until you're ready to rest in stillness. If you have your eye pillow to hand, then just go ahead and rest that over the eyes. Bring the palms to face the sky. Just before you settle into complete stillness, just make sure that you've adjusted everything in the body and it feels nice and comfortable. So maybe turning the head yes and no. Just making sure the back of the neck is nice and long. And let the eyelids become smooth and rested, closed. The eyeballs heavy in the sockets. Dropping back into the skull. Soften the cheeks, the jaw. Allow the lips to plump. And experience a wave of relaxation now, moving with the breath down from the earlobes, down the neck, into the shoulders, all the way down into the upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingertips. And that wave of relaxation resting in the heart space and dropping down into the organs, the belly, the womb space. Just resting here. Softening further down into the hips, the thighs, relaxing down into the knees and the shins, the ankles, tops of the feet, soles of the feet, down into the toes. And let this swirl of relaxation now rest at the crown of the head. Allow it to trickle down the back of the scalp, just melting away any remaining tension and holding. And let this seep down the back of the neck into the shoulder blades, down the length of the spine to the lower back, down into the glutes, down the hamstrings into the backs of the knees, the calves, the ankles, the heels. Your whole body now is filled with a sense of relaxation. And just rest in this stillness. Allowing every exhale to release what you no longer wish to carry. Just setting it down on the ground. And allow the inhale to nourish you completely and fully, activating energy in the cells, healing, balancing, cleansing.
Very gently now come back into your body. Feel the quality of the air coming in through your nostrils. Feel the quality and the temperature of the air as it leaves the nostrils. Deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Another deep breath in. Long sigh. On this next deep breath, maybe wiggle the fingers, the toes, perhaps a little stretch with the arms back behind you, really lengthening through the waist, and exhale, sigh it out. And in your own time, gently roll over onto your right side, just coming into the fetal position, and letting all parts of you integrate here. The benefits of your practice integrating into the cells. And then when all parts of you feel ready, with your eyes still closed or your gaze soft, just gently press yourself up with the hands and come into a seat. So returning to where we began, with the sit bones grounded, reaching up through the crown of the head, we're going to bring the hands in prayer position in front of the heart. And just drop through the shoulders, ground through the sit bones, and as if you were leaning into a rocking chair, allow yourself to lean back into the back body. Feel the buoyancy of the upper chest. And we're going to end with a cleansing Om. We'll do this 3 times. So I really want you to let this sound vibrate from the mouth all the way through your center and out through the perineum. A clearing, cleansing sound. Exhale all the air from the lungs. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Gently allow this vibration to move through the cells, and then drop the chin into the chest. Take the thumbs to the brow chakra, just in between the eyebrows. Just a moment of gratitude and appreciation for the practice. And sending love from my heart to yours. Namaste. I hope that you have enjoyed this practice and that it has provided you space to tune out the outside world and just drop back into your body. And so this practice is here for you at any time you wish to come to it, and you can even just take little pieces of it. One of my favorite things is literally just what we did in the beginning, lying down on the floor, bringing my knees into my chest and just rolling around and getting into the hips and just noticing, where am I holding tension in my body and how can I use gravity and breath to release. So thank you for joining me today. Namaste.